All right, so this one is called The End is Really Near by Jay Wilburn. Devin Haney laid back in his hammock, staring up through the trees at the deceptively blue sky. A man could look up there all day without being reminded that the end of the world, for humanity at least, and many other species too, was just around the corner. That was exactly the type of self-deception Devin had planned for today. I kind of took a different approach with this one in that I don't fully explain what's happening that's making the world fall apart. So I've kind of tried to strike a balance to where I tell enough to where you kind of get the sense of things, but not enough to where you're getting all the information of what's going on. I like the concept of your entire Twitch. I'm jealous of your ability to create stories so frequently. Yeah. It kind of depends. There are days that I miss. I'm going to be away on Wednesday because I got a doctor's appointment all day. But yeah, on days when I'm feeling okay, I kind of have worked out these muscles enough to where I can, the creative muscles, I mean, to be able to sort of create from scratch. Now, not all the stories turn out good, so one reason I'm able to do it is I'm okay with writing a bad story. So if the story turns out poorly, it's not the end of the world because I can edit it a couple times, and a lot of times it turns out a lot better after a couple edits, and other times, it is what it is, and the story just isn't great. But kind of being willing to write a bad story kind of frees me up to be able to occasionally do something great. And then those are the ones I show to the world, so they think that I write that way all the time. All right, he could already hear Nathaniel Wesley stalking through the leaves down the slope to disturb Devin's plans for the day. Devin did his best to put on a genuine smile and hid any irritation he harbored for this man. Nate hadn't come into view yet, but Devin recognized him by the pace and intensity of his walk. The smile felt good. Devin had exceeded at that also. Not all stories can be gold, that's true. Sometimes they're just inspiration for other ones. That's true. You can always... nothing stops you from writing something different. Of course, the only difference here is people can actually see that I've written something badly, so they know what happened. But the rest of the world doesn't have to know, I guess. Nate wasn't smiling as he leaned into Devin's view. Devin half expected the man to flip him over and dump him onto the ground. That didn't happen, though. Not right away and not today. I'm telling you again that you need to get ready. Devin sighed and felt the smile. I typed an extra W, apparently. Hit 2 keys at once. So he fixed that. No one will ever know that happened except you and me. Devin sighed and felt the smile slip a little. He had done the best he could. And I'm telling you to do as you like, Nate, but I also know that nothing we do is going to save the world. Got an extra space there, so let's clean that up. This time, so... I'm not talking about saving the world. I'm talking about saving ourselves. Why did you go to all the trouble to fight your way up here with us if you're just giving up? All right, we need a question mark there. And it's a valid question, even if this guy seems to have a bad attitude. I wanted peace and quiet for the end, Devin said. You could help me with that wish a little if you just let up. I don't want you to go, Nate said. And on a selfish note, you staying out here unprepared when it does sweep over us affects us too. All right, I think I have the wrong effects. I do indeed. All right, let me reread that sentence because it seems a little awkward. I don't want you to go, and on a selfish note, you staying out here unprepared when it does... Okay, I need a comma there. That's what's going to fix that. When it does sweep over us, affects us too. All right, I think that reads okay. And again, I'm being vague about what it is. I see it differently, Nate. I don't care how you see it. You'll be changed by it. You'll get desperate at the last moment and come to take what is mine, or others will come and force you to tell them where we are. It's not just about you. I'm going to have to ask you again to leave me in peace, Nate. I care about you, or I wouldn't have helped you get here at all. But I've made my decision. You'll just have to trust that I'll be dead and gone before I can be any trouble to you. I hope you fighting to survive what is sweeping over this world proves worth it to you. Nate huffed and stepped away. Let me fix that. So far, just little typos. Sometimes in a second edit, I'll make more sweeping changes to the story, but we'll see what happens. Nate huffed and stepped away from view. Devin braced himself to be dumped from his hammock this time. More footsteps approached through the leaves. Even though the couple was approaching at once, he recognized the gait of Forrest and Abby Buster, separate from each other. Of course, since they were the only other two left up here, it wasn't much of a magic trick to know it was them. Nate shouted, "You two try to get through to him. I'm getting nowhere, and I have too much work to keep wasting my time here." Nate stormed off as Forrest and Abby stepped into view on the other side. "Will do," Forrest called and waved at Nate's back. Abby asked, "How are you doing?" "Doing great, considering," Devin said. "I wish that Nate would stay busy with all the stuff he says is keeping him busy, and just leave me alone out here." Forrest said, "Well, you know why he's concerned. He cares about you. He'll miss you," Abby said. "He fears I'll give him up and turn into someone else when it gets really bad and pose a threat to him," Devin said. "Probably a little of both," Forrest agreed with them. "I see doing anything more than waiting out my days as a waste of those last few days. Those last few good days," Devin said. "I understand the rest of you fighting and scratching for a little bit more, but that's not for me." "Maybe if you just pretended a little," Forrest said. Devin smiled again and felt all the humor in it. "Pretend to prepare for the end of the world? How much time should I devote to that game for Nate's peace of mind?" "You're pretending now," Abby said. "You're sitting here pretending everything is fine, so what's the difference in humoring Nathaniel a little?" "Pretending to make him happy won't work," Devin said, "and it's way more work than just enjoying my final days." "We respect your decision," Forrest said as he turned Abby by her shoulder. "We'll try to keep Nate calm and away from you as best we can." "He's grieving," Devin said, "grieving for himself and the entire world." They left with no further discussion, and Devin fell asleep out there for most of the afternoon before he attempted to read the book he had brought with him. He had already read it twice, though. Okay, I'm going to spend a little time on this paragraph. It reads a little awkward. They left with no further discussion. Let me just stop it there. We don't need to make this longer. Let's say before he attempted to read the book he brought with him, comma, Devin fell asleep out there for most of the afternoon. He had already read it twice. Let's say anyway instead of though. Seems like a lot for a throwaway paragraph, but let me see if I can get it right. They left with no further discussion. Do I want to say and before? I'm going to do that. Normally these would be together, but not a big deal. They left with no further discussion, and before he attempted to read the book he brought with him, Devin fell asleep out there for most of the afternoon. He had already read it twice. He had already read it through twice anyway. That reads fine. Let's move along. Devin cast his line out again. 3 fish were a great haul, especially with the size of the last one, but he was enjoying the act of fishing as much as the reward of fresh meat later. Nate's familiar footsteps turned into a familiar stomp as he paced out to the end of the dock with all his scolding energy. "What can I do for you, Nate?" "Get your head out of your ass and start carrying your weight around here." Devin sighed and started reeling in his bait slowly across the top of the lake. Fishing was much easier when you were the last one left to do it. "I'm gathering food like you wanted me to. You're a real jerk sometimes, Devin. I don't understand it." "Well, no more offense than is necessary, Nate, but you are one to talk. This lake is poisoned, and so are the fish in it. I've told you this before." "I've seemed to be holding up just fine, friend. It accumulates. You'll be sick beyond saving in weeks or months at the outside. Well, lucky for me, we will be swept over long before that." "Damn it, Devin, I'm hoping to talk you into surviving before then, so I need you to stop eating these fish." Devin reeled in his line without waiting for a fourth bite. He started to gather his gear as quickly as he could. Nate couldn't bear the lull. "I'm tired of you not taking this seriously." Devin lifted his bucket of fish last. "I can take this seriously without coming to the same conclusions as you. You know I was type A and work focused all as long as you have known me. I prepped same as you before it all fell apart. I came with you to flee the chaos. Now I've decided that my time is better spent enjoying the simple things before civilization is scoured from the earth. All right, let me capitalize Earth in this context, because I'm talking about the planet, not just a pile of dirt. So with respect, I'm going... I've got a missing word, sorry. So with respect, I'm going to sleep in, I'm going to read, I'm going to relax, and I'm going to eat fish. Nate grabbed the rim of the bucket and caused Devin to drop all the rest of his gear scattered around their feet. You get your hands off me and mine, Nate. I mean it. I'm not letting you eat this poison. The bucket almost flipped over, but Devin seized it from two sides to hold it upright and steady. We've tested the water, and it's fine. You can't test for everything. Don't be crazy, Nate. Let go. The poisons could seep in at any moment. Last time I'm warning you, Nate. You're out of line here. Devin wrenched the bucket free, and Nate stumbled backward to the edge of the dock. He was going over. The bucket dropped straight down with a clatter and boom, but no fish were lost. Devin lurched forward and caught Nate by one arm and the front of his shirt. Their weight was still tipping toward the water. Nate clawed at Devin hard enough to draw blood, but Devin didn't let go. He leaned back and pulled toward the center of the dock. Nate's shirt ripped at one seam, but they started to come back the right way. I don't want to say back, because that has two meanings. They started to come forward the right way. Nate sucked air from between his teeth. Don't let me go. Don't drop me in there. Devin heaved back from... Not again. I don't want to do back. Back's a tricky word because it may make it sound like he's going the wrong direction. Devin heaved away with all his weight and twisted. Nate stumbled over and rolled away on the dock. I don't want to use away again, so I'm just going to cut the word there. Rolled on the dock, still heaving for air. Devin collected his bucket and other gear. He stepped over Nate as he left. Say departed. Again, left has two meanings, and we're dealing with directions here. You still shouldn't eat those, Devin. Who's Devin? Did I introduce a new character? Nope, I did not, so let's spell this correctly. You still shouldn't eat those, Devin. If I'd let you drop in the water, you would have freaked the hell out, but you would have been fine. I saved you because I respect your beliefs. I ask you to leave me alone with my own decisions concerning this. I'm not wrong, Devin. Devin let that last shout be the end of the conversation. He joined Forrest and Abby at their house to cook the fish. They ate outside on the deck that needed painting and refinishing, but would never get it. Through the sliding glass, he could see the metal door like the face of a vault in their living room. Soon that would be their permanent home, and the rest of this lovely property would waste away. Abby asked, "Is he okay?" Devin considered the busters before he answered. I think. Alright, let me fix that. That was a weird typo. Devin considered the busters before he answered. I think he's coming unhinged. Not the... Is it Nate or Nat? Oh, did I do it wrong again? Good catch. Hold on. It's Nate. Did you see a Nat in there? Alright, I'll have to go back and recheck. It's Nate. You've gone back and forth a couple times. I'll have to recheck that. Yeah, I'll check it later. If I had let it drop in the water... Okay, we're back in the... Okay, is he okay? Devin considered the busters before he answered. I think he's coming unhinged. Not the most unreasonable reaction to what is coming, but I don't believe he can be prepared enough to mentally survive what is coming. Abby pulled some more fish onto her fork and ate it with none of the fear. There it is. See it now. Yeah, I'll do a quick check. I'll do a quick check of Nat and make sure they all become Nates. All right. The fear Nate held for it. Devin wondered how... Good Lord, did I switch all the way through? Now that you pointed it out, I can't not see it. Devin wondered how Nate would react to seeing the Busters eating fish, fresh caught lake fish too. He's going to be all alone in his bunker if you don't join him, she said. That would be most of what this is about, Forrest said. If you just help him prep his space, even if you don't intend to join him, it might help him through it. It won't, Devin said over a mouthful of fish. I don't need fishy. What kind of story am I telling here? You can do a find and change. Yeah. I don't want to do a full find and change because if I type in Nat, then all the Nates will become Natee. So I'll need to be more surgical in going through and finding them. I'm also going to do another edit off screen as well. So I tend to find a few more things in that second or third edit too. It won't, Devin said over a mouthful of fish. He will force me into his bunker if I show even a hint of helping. Also, there is nothing left to do. The place is packed. All he's doing at this point is rearranging, inventorying, and piling surplus into other bunkers that will do him no good. If this goes as badly as we think it will. Maybe it won't be that bad, Abby said. We might be okay. It doesn't hurt to prepare for the worst. It seems to be hurting him, Devin said. Did I spell that the same way? Nope. I got an I instead of an N. I mean, an O. I knew I did that a couple times, but I was trying to catch it as I went through, so I'll need to do a find and change there. All right. Maybe it won't be that bad, Abby said. It might be okay. It seems to be hurting him. It's the loneliness that's going to kill him, Forrest said. No, I need to go back up on the line. Sorry. It seems to be hurting him, Devin said. If I join him, it will just make his supplies last half as long. It's the loneliness that's going to kill him, Forrest said. Then invite him into your bunker. All right, let me fix a small typo there. The Busters exchanged a look. We've discussed it, Abby said. Forrest continued. We don't think it's a good idea. Then don't try to convince me to scratch out a few more meaningless days in his company, trapped inside a metal box. They continued to eat and talked about a few benign topics, mostly of the world gone by. The fish was good, but Devin couldn't finish it, and he didn't bother to save any. All right. Devin. Wait, was it supposed to be O or was it supposed to be N? I'm going to go back up. Maybe I just made it worse. Yep, I fixed it the wrong way. Darn it. All right. All right. I fixed it the wrong way. Okay, let me go back through here real quick. Devin. Devin. I had one O and then I started changing all of them. Devin. 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 Oh, Lord. Did I... All right, I'm going to take care of that later. Oh, my goodness. I keep switching back and forth. Did I switch to I's all down through here? All right, let's make them all O's. All right, that I'm going to fix now because that's driving me crazy. All right, find Devin. All right, that's a lot of Devins. All right, so find Devin. Okay. O-N is wrong, so I'm going to fix that. All right, so find... No, I need to do find and replace. This is good TV right here. All right, Devin, and change it to Devin. Replace all. All right. Okay. So we got that at least. We'll figure out the Nats and Nates later. I'm usually better about keeping names straight here. How do I spell it on the thing? Yeah, it was IN in the... All right, here we go. Devin started to rouse from sleep in his hammock as he detected the familiar sound of gnats. There we go. Here we are. How many times did I do that? Good God. All right, hold on. Nat. Maybe it should. All right, let me check this now. No, I'm going to do that later. Well, I got a mess on my hands. Why did I do that? Which makes more sense? NATE makes more sense. That's Nate. All right, I'm going to have to fix that later. How many are there? Good Lord. All right, NAT. I did NAT a lot. Does that make sense, though? Because it's Nathaniel, and it's short for Nathaniel, but you still say Nate, Nate. Oh, Lord. All right. Yeah, I'll need to fix that later. All right. Devin started to rouse from sleep in his hammock as he detected the familiar sound of Nate's approach. I thought it was short for Natalie, and you have a personal preference of how to pronounce it, so Nate is better. Yeah, I did it wrong a lot, though. All right, so off screen, I'm going to do a find and replace, but I'm going to have to do each one so I don't end up with any NATEEs. Actually, I could probably... Yeah, we'll do a find. Here's how I'll do it. I got to work around. All right, so replace NAT with NATE. All right, so we'll do a replace all. All right. Replace all. All right, now, as you'll see, how did I end up with 2? Oh, no, I'm really messed up now. Did I do it twice? All right. Hold on. I made it worse because I actually did it twice. So there's a bunch of NATEEs. All right. All right. So we're going to do replace NATEEE with NATE. So let's do replace all. All right. Now we're going to need to do NATE and replace with Nate. So we do replace all. All right. Good grief. Okay, so let me find, we'll do find Nat. And this is off screen for you guys, but it's all Nate's now. Okay. Managed to mess it up twice, but it finally fixed it. So, fortunately, only you guys will know how badly I messed that up, and the rest of the world will be in the dark. All right. Devin started to rouse from sleep in his hammock as he detected the familiar sound of Nate, not Nat, and not Nate EEE's approach. He woke slowly to discover it was still mid-morning. He must have only barely fallen asleep. Nate's steps were familiar, but sounded different somehow. The hammock flipped before Devin even saw Nate. He landed hard on his belly and had to regain his air. Screw you, Nate. The club came down hard on the back of Devin's head. It was an iron pipe, but Devin never saw it. He did spy Forrest and Abby up on the hill watching. He didn't have time to process what their part in this might be. Nate laid into his friend and beat him to death on the ground under his hammock. Sorry, this turned dark very quickly. Abby clung to Forrest, and let me do a comma there because it's a compound sentence. Abby clung to Forrest, and they backed up a step as Nate looked up at them. He was covered in splatter. I had to do it, he said. He posed a threat to us. I told him that, but he didn't care. He wouldn't listen. We understand, Forrest said. Abby jolted next to him and started to say, okay, I need to fix the quotation mark there. Let me fix that real quick. Got it going the wrong way. We most certainly, quiet, Forrest snapped. Just be quiet. I'll deal with him later. Nate added, I didn't want to waste bullets. He said it as if that explained everything and excused the mess. We should be making final preparation, Forrest said. You should clean up your mess. He was your friend. It's the least you can do. Nate nodded and looked down at the body. Forrest turned Abby away from the scene and guided her back toward their cabin and bunker. He killed Devin, Abby said with no strength or breath behind her words. He really killed him. He's insane. "I'll take care of it," Forrest said. "We can't trust him anymore. He has to go. I'll waste a bullet to see that he doesn't threaten us anymore." She didn't say anything else to him about it, so Forrest took that as tacit approval that this was the end of it.